Hi everyone, welcome. Happy to have you all here. I'm going to start with the cards. And the first card is from Rebecca Campbell's deck, the Starseed. And it's the 7 Star Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life, and Expression. There are new creations that want to be born, beauty that's yearning to be woven, new consciousness that's longing to be breathed into life. If you draw this card, you're being called to surrender to these creations, to usher in a new era of consciousness and do your bit in weaving the web of life. This is the card of the artist and the midwife. You're being called to ponder these questions. What wants to be birthed through you? What new creations are whispering in your ear? What beauty are you being called to make? Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. They occur when we find ourselves flowing with the rest of life. Earth is renowned as a planet of manifestation and creativity, and yet so many of us have forgot how to create. Somewhere along the way, we stopped seeing ourselves as artists, as creative people, or as poets. Yet to be human is to be creative. Creativity is part of our true nature. Perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project, such as a new business or a book. Or perhaps you're being called to weave beauty in your home or in the way you look. Regardless of the end result, you're being called to express yourself through creativity, to surrender to the creative projects that both scare and excite you, to find a way to weave beauty back into your life. For where there's creativity, spirit and soul are present, and the world needs those qualities more now than ever before. So the inquiry you're supposed to ask yourself is, what new creations are you being called to birth? This is an amazing time when we're supposed to be looking at what's the new. You've heard me talk about it many, many times. It's like the old way is dying, and it's not even shape-shifting, it's dying. And now we're coming into a time where, how can you recreate you? How can you be in a new place that you want to feel that creativity brewing? And I know from being home, a lot of people are looking at things differently. A lot of you have taken up knitting, or, oh, I used to crochet, or I used to paint, whatever it is. And people are finding the time to do this again. So funny that this would come out, because this morning I was thinking, I really need to take some time every day to start writing my book. I've been wanting to do this for the longest time, and I want to tell my story about where I came from and all of that, how I got here. But I want to write it as a fiction, because some of the stuff in there no one would ever believe. So I thought, leave it up to people to figure out what's true and what isn't. So this is a time when we're supposed to be birthing new avenues of really expressing who we are in different ways, and also having fun doing it. You know, just being able to, you know, with me, it would never be, I could never sit for hours a day writing. I would be like, okay, give it an hour, hour and a half a day, and whatever is there, and just not be worried about, you know, the chronological piece of everything. You know, we always make these excuses for ourselves and find potential problems before we even start whatever it is. So don't let something like that stop you. If you want to paint, paint just for the sake of painting and find the joy in that. The next deck is for Moonology, and the card is, it's time to take action. New moon in Aries. Look at that ram. A beautiful picture. So for all of us this week, it's time to take action. The flame is lit. A wonderful new start beckons that you're on the right path. Drawing this card is a superbly positive sign if there's something you want to have happen in your life. Take this card as a big yes from the universe. This is the time to really tune into your dreams. You may still have a long way to go. After all, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but you're on your way. Determination, self-assertion, and bravery are called for. But the hot fire of Aries is driving you towards success in whatever endeavor you're asking about. The caution, don't go too fast and forget your manners. Trust people well as you change towards your goals. You'll create much better karma for yourself. So this is really good. My feeling is that this is really about just being in a place that says, you know, it's time, start it. Kind of goes with the other card. This week, start something new and take action on the things you want to do or create in your life or be in your life. It's important to do that. I'm just going to turn this light on. Okay. The next one is from Work Your Light. Trust the niggle. What is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? And it's 3 goddesses, 2 and a priestess on here. The niggling feeling, that annoying feeling, that inconvenient, annoying, niggling feeling, try as you might, it's there. And it ain't going anywhere. Most people spend years ignoring their niggling feelings, throwing their best dollops of stubbornness, ego, and post-rationalization to numb them out. It's exhausting. And until you face the niggle, life just throws you more bait to awaken it. To draw your attention to the light within you is that it's bursting to come back and to come out. The niggle is an arrow pointing to what is standing in your way. The relationship, the conversation, the decision, the shift that needs to be made, the stone in your shoe. Often we feel the niggling feeling in our body first. Many people think that intuition is something from the higher realms, but in fact, it is the body that is the intuitive one, working through our senses to deliver vibrational information. It takes just a moment every day to scan your body, to receive the intuitive intelligence and act on it quickly. You are being called to face the niggle now. If you don't face it, the universe will throw something much bigger and more obvious in your way. And then you will likely regret that you didn't answer the niggle in the first place. I know it's scary, but you are safe. Answer the niggle now. And it says the inquiry is, what is the niggling feeling trying to tell you? So we all have these feelings that just kind of haunt us, like, oh, I know there's something that's supposed to be happening. And we feel that, and we get to this place of, I don't know what it is, but there's something. How many times have you felt that? There's something coming, and I just don't know what it is. For years, we have been told that this time would come. We may not have known it was going to start with a pandemic, but we knew something was coming, and here it is. We knew this. And for about a month, I'll say, before the quarantine and all this hit, in February especially, all of us were feeling like, do you feel that? Something's coming, something's coming. Yet we weren't shown exactly how that was going to play out, because even with us, we're not shown. So this is a time where this was like, boom, there it is, you know. So now we can look back and say, oh, I knew something was coming. I didn't know what it was. I knew. And you try to go through that search in your mind. There's that part of when Jordan and I talk about things, that there's that part of us that's like, so do you think it's like an earthquake or something? Is it an earth change? What's happening? And I call them life quakes, and I'm going to write a booklet about life quakes because I love that word. This is a huge life quake for us, where a life quake is something that comes and disrupts your life in a big way. Could be a divorce, certainly was a pandemic, could be losing your job or a relationship or whatever, or health. These are life quakes. And what do we do during a life quake? We have to learn how to recreate all over again. So trusting that little edge that says, ooh, something's not quite right. Acknowledging it and moving through it anyways. I'm going to pull 3 angel cards for the up and coming week. This one wants to come, so I'm going to say 4. Okay. The first card for the week out of the angel cards is potential. And you see a closed bud. So there's this closed bud that really wants to start opening up. And in that flower holds all the potential of what will be. So all of the seeds that you'll put out, there it is, the potential of having the shifts you want. Cooperation, that we have to cooperate not only with everyone around us, but we also have to cooperate with our higher self. Our higher self is showing us the way in every moment, and it's whether we actually listen to it or not that defines how we move forward. The next card, Divine Guidance, which is a wild card in the deck. Divine Guidance, that's the center of a flower, and it's saying that we hear you. The divine is saying, we already know what you want, we hear you. But sometimes we have to work behind the scenes a little bit on the timing, or things have to shift or happen, and this is very important. And the last card is purpose. So purpose is your life purpose, is moving forward, all of it. So as I put these all together, it's telling us that this is a time of being conscious, taking conscious action this week, to trust any little part of you that's bugging you, and to look at it, embrace it, and go through it. Remember, we're still in the effects of many different astrological shifts happening. And then potential says, what do you want? We got all this potential in here. Tell me what you want to come to fruition. And then it's like tossing those seeds to where you want it to go this week. And cooperate with whoever you're working with, including your high self. The divine will do its job once you're clear about what you're trying to take action on, and live on purpose. Live your purpose on purpose is what this is saying. This is a time for you to really move through things and be really confident and assured that whatever is yours will come together in the right timing. So, I want to say this has been a time of a lot of challenges between everything that's been going on, between the racial riots and the marches, and also everything with COVID, and people still fighting the battle of trying to get well. You know, just because it died down, there's still people struggling with this, and we have to be there, and we have to be open for this. And so the other thing that I want to say to you is that Jordan and I went to one of these in East Long Meadow, one of the protests, and I'll tell you, it fed my soul. It was so peaceful and beautiful, and people chanting and praying, and to see children from, you know, ones that can't walk, babies, right on up to people that were about 90 years old and had to hold themselves up with a cane or whatever. It was so wonderful to see people gathering together in the name of love and trying to shift things. And for those of you that are as old as I am or around that age that may remember the marches way back then in the 60s, you know, looking at the racial riots or the civil rights movements or Martin Luther and all of that. It was absolutely an amazing time for growth, and I feel like we've gone full circle and here we are again. And as we were there chanting, I was reminded, oh my God, it's been 50 years from when Martin Luther King, when he marched on Washington and he did I Have a Dream. And here we are again. In August, it will be 50 years since the march. And I thought, oh my God, I was living that then. And many of you as well. And here we are again. So to see the hopefulness in everyone's eyes, that, you know, it was just really amazing. And to really feel at a deep level that this is the beginning of change. You know, if you doubt it or you're like, yeah, that's never going to happen. No, my friends, it is going to happen. And I felt it. I felt it deep down in a place inside of my soul that remembers somewhere along the line some kind of peace on earth. And that memory is there, and it touched it again. And I was bawling because there was a 22, 23-year-old there that turned to me and she said, it's up to my generation, isn't it? And it was just, you know, to see like, okay, we have to do something. To see that and to feel it in my heart was wonderful. And to see all different people, it didn't matter what color you were, or what age, or what size, or what gender, it was wonderful. And it really fed my soul. You know, going to try to be of assistance and support ended up feeding me. So, just food for thought there. There's a lot of change happening this month that has gone out because of the eclipses, 2 eclipses. And this year there are 6 eclipses instead of the usual 4 a year. So I'm telling you, this is a pivot point, because whenever we have eclipses, it's a pivot point. And there is going to be a lot of opportunity for change. So where you are or where you were in the beginning of 2020, in January 2020, and where you will be at the end of December in 2020 will hopefully be a whole different place. Lots of change, lots of conscious decisions, you know, and really re-examining your beliefs, your commitments, and everything. So this can be a very exciting time if you let it. This is a wonderful time to say, you know what? I've changed my mind. I'm moving beyond this. And this is what I choose now. And not letting anybody influence you, not even me. You know, this is a very individual time where we really have to look at, what is it that I believe? What is it that I want? What makes sense to me? What is right? You have to ask yourself those questions. Somebody asked me something the other day and they're like, well, what should I think about this? And I thought, I asked it back, what should you think about this? I'm not here to lecture or be, I don't have all the answers either. So we're all going through this fresh and new. It's an exciting time, and all I know is there's a change coming. I'm hearing that phrase from Bob Dylan's song long time ago. The times they are a-changin'. Here we are. So we want to make it the best year ever. We've got half a year left. We want to really look at what stands in our way. Remember the niggle. What stands in our way? Let's address that and really move forward with, where do I want to go? What's important to me? And just allow yourself to get there, however you get there. It's like you can take a boat, you can take a plane, you can drive a scooter. However you get there, you get there. And remember to celebrate along the way, because you're going to have a lot of little things to celebrate, or things that change and, really go into a new place for you. Celebrate it, and keep me posted. I love the emails, the texts that I've been getting, the, just everything about people just really loving the videos and feeling safe and connected. And it's my pleasure to do this, because you help me as much as I help you. And I want you to remember that, because you all have a special place in my heart. And we have to do it together. It's the only way we're going to get through this, is together. So when people say, yes, we're in this together, absolutely. When you think about how we all started with one being that got split into all these sparks of light, regardless of whatever your religion is. So how could we not go back into unification in one? Well, that's all I have for you today. So you have a beautiful, wonderful Sunday afternoon. And this week, remember, do something creative and new. Take action on your life. Thank you.